All right, everybody, welcome to the channel. This is Custom Creator. I'm OGL Schmitt. It is a Saturday morning, so to help you guys get the weekend started on a good note, several good notes, in fact, we've got a pretty cool reaction coming for you. Danny recently did a lyrical breakdown to the Mudvayne song Happy. Turned out really well, and we very quickly got a request for the group Hell Yeah. Hell Yeah is, I'm sure, what a lot of y'all said when you got off work Friday. But Hell Yeah is also a supergroup founded in 2006 by vocalist Chad Gray and the guitarist from Mudvayne. Don't know names very well here. And the guitarist and bassist from a group called Nothing Face. And rounding out this group on drums is the legendary Vinnie Paul from Damage Plan and, of course, Pantera. Uh, Definitely a super group. Never heard this band, so interested in hearing what they sound like. And if you guys want to hear OGL react to a 2000 supergroup, give me a hell yeah! All right, guys, let's do this.
Have you cried yourself to sleep? Have you felt this incomplete? Have you ever cut yourself so deep to see if you still bleed? Do you ever feel wanted? Do you ever feel needed? Do you ever feel happy? Just like me, I'm hanging by a thread, a rope, the noose around my neck. I choke, 'cause every time I fall in, love falls out of me. I'm hiding like a rock, a stone, the brick inside my chest, alone, 'cause every time I
Probably a bad pause there. That is the curse of being a reactor. Always looking for a just pause. So I'm really liking this. It's very groovy. It's got that sort of throbbing bass line. It's backed up by the drums. From his time in Pantera, Vinny definitely knows how to set a groove. Um, Vocals here are interesting. I'm not very familiar with Mudvayne or with Chad, so I'm sort of liking the sort of monotone he's got going in the verses here. Uh, Sort of lower pitch, sort of like croaking into some of the words, and then when the chorus comes in, it's it's got all kinds of snarl and a lot of grit, and his the way he sort of emphasizes some things almost has a punk edge to it. You know, a rope. It's like tons and tons of attitude. Um, I liked that intro where it was like strings, but it sounded like they were being played through like a really old phonograph or something. So yeah, very interesting sonic textures the band's got going here. So let's keep going.
Have you ever wished for death and prayed all night for your last breath? Have you ever wanted to forget the failure of your dreams?
bad. Pause. Hey, I'm around. StreamYard, try it out. It's really cool. Anyway, so I do remember reading that it was this band that sort of convinced Vinnie Paul to get back into music, get back into performing, which is great. That uh, everyone knows what happened to his brother, Dimebag Darrell, gunned down on stage. That is a horrible thing to happen, and you whenever your siblings are close, um, even if you're at odds with each other, there's a bond that you can't sort of replicate with anyone else. Just shared experiences and that sort of thing. So to be in a band, which in and of itself is another bonding experience, to be in a band with a brother and have them, killed in such a way, that is wow. Uh, I don't, I do not envy uh, Vinny's predicament, and I certainly would understand if he wanted to retire from performance completely. Um, but I mean, good for him for coming back because performing with others, making music also is very therapeutic. Um, Give me a second here. Station identification. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I wanted to check something, make sure I didn't sound stupid or say anything. But Vinny has since passed away. On one hand, he's with his brother now, but yeah, that absolutely sucks. It's good that he came back to perform with his band, to sort of add to his legacy. And his drumming here is monstrous. Like, I absolutely love his fills. Yeah, he brings so much to the track. Um, I'm really sort of getting into Chad's voice here as well. Um, that second verse had a lot of like seething anger built into it. It was still sort of lower and quieter, but the he was starting to use that emphasis that he did in the chorus, just in a sort of a cleaner, more subtle way. Um, and then the chorus kicks in, give tons of grit. I think words like I and my, just things where he's referring to himself, they seem to be like especially gnarly. So it's almost like there's some self-loathing there. The song seems to be about sort of hardening your heart to protect against heartbreak. But this bridge, I never forget the day I died. The voice is still, raspy, but the melody is really pretty. It's a nice contrast. I'm really enjoying that. And I know the band had mentioned that they're used to performing with one guitarist, and to have two guitarists, they said it sort of brings back that old school Iron Maiden feel. So props to any band for referencing Iron Maiden. They are some of the founders of metal. Um, I'm not hearing a whole lot of Iron Maiden influence in the song itself, except maybe the prominent nature of the bass. But yeah, it's a really well structured song, and yeah, I'm definitely feeling the lyrics. You know, you get hurt enough times, you sort of develop that sort of thick skin. And the problem with that is that also makes it harder for you to empathize. You don't want something getting in that also prevents stuff from getting out. So you have to be, instead of like having a wall, you need to basically install a gate there. So, you can keep yourself from getting hurt, but still allow yourself to feel for others, for lack of a better term. All right, that's enough psychobabble. Let's get into some more kick-ass music.
Hanging by a thread, a rope, the noose around my neck. I choke, cause every time I fall in love falls out of me.
Damn.
I'm hiding like a rock, a stone, the brick inside my chest, alone, cause every time I fall in love falls out of me. I'm hanging by a thread, a rope, the noose around my neck.
that unaccompanied bit towards the end with his voice and just like some effects in the background, that was really effective. Very creepy. I did check some of the comments on the song. I think my favorite was "This Guy Needs a Hug." But if you've noticed throughout the course of rock and metal, especially, they've been demonized forever for being about Satan or evil or drugs or whatever. But if you listen, it's people expressing inner torment, and that's I think one of the purposes of art is that it gives us a place to put these emotions that are really hard to express in a conventional way without some pretty severe consequences. When I was growing up, I used to write poetry, and that gave me a spot to put some very scary emotions that I really wouldn't want to throw out into the world. Um, and this song definitely, very dark lyrics. It feels like that person sort of walling themselves in to keep from getting hurt. Every time I fall in love falls out of me. Yeah, clearly someone that has dealt with some heartbreak and is hardening themselves uh, so they won't get hurt. I was also realizing like his voice gets really high. Like I'm sort of focused on the sound of it, that grit. Because I've always thought that was a really good sound when you're talking about either something being really weary or really angry or really tormented. It's a good sonic texture, like painting, I guess, but with sound. But yeah, he's really up there. Between that and some of the lower notes he's hitting in the verses, yeah, he's got a really impressive range. Uh, I'm liking what I'm hearing from Hell Yeah. Definitely would be interested in listening to more from the band. So if you guys want to give me some suggestions down there in the comments, tell me what the song, what the lyrics meant to you, and let me know if you know anybody that needs a hug. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate your time for this. This one is going to be stuck in my head for a while. So uh, there are ways to support the channel. Uh, Best ways to join our Patreon or our members area. We've got exclusive reactions there, some really cool behind the scenes content. Joining our Discord is also fun. That's completely free. We just you know sort of want to form a community where we can talk about music, movies, mental health, all of those awesome things. And if you want to make your own content, I highly recommend using this program StreamYard because when Danny recruited me for the channel, I was using one of these flip phone. Yep. So if I can use this thing, then you guys should be making the best content ever. So again, thank you all very much. Appreciate you tolerating the sales pitch. Hell yeah is amazing. Rockin' Paradise, uh, Vinnie Paul, and Dimebag Daryl. Um, Gone too soon. It absolutely sucks. Uh, we'll always have the music to remember you by. So you'll never be silent, never be forgotten. So thank you all very much. Have a good day. Enjoy your weekend.